All right. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. It's Chad Reiffer here with Real Experience Bowling. And today we are going to be doing a ball review of the Motiv Nebula. Make sure you guys hit like, subscribe to the channel, check us out for more bowling content and Motiv bowling ball reviews. So like I said, today what we're going to do is we're going to be showcasing the new Motiv Nebula. Pretty excited to bring this one to you guys. I've thrown it a little bit. So far, unbelievable. Unlike anything I've really ever seen before. We're going to be throwing the Nebula today. I've got two of them drilled slightly different. We keep them both at a little bit of a different surface. I got one shiny out of box, one with a little bit of surface at 1500 grit. We're also going to compare it between the Primal Rage Evolution, the Evoke Hysteria, and the Iron Forge. So like I said, be sure to like and subscribe. Check us out for more. Let's show you some shots. Alright, so we're getting warmed up. We're rolling on a fresh house shot. They just re-oiled here. So we're going to throw a couple shots, break it in. But with the new Nebula, what we're going to see here, really excited to bring. It's a Hadron symmetrical. It's actually a dual density core, which is the first one that Motiv has had out in a few years. Shiny black bowling ball. Kind of really reminds me of the old like graffiti tag. So it kind of reminds me of the look of the graffiti tag, but I gotta tell you, the few shots that I've thrown with this, the couple sets that I've got in with this ball, it's really unlike anything I've seen before. So like we said, it is a symmetrical core, but with that dual density block, the numbers on it, it's 250, 045 differential, similar numbers to some of the other balls that you've seen in the lineup, like the Primal Rage Evolution, but after drilling with that dual density core, the numbers definitely spike up. Then along with the dark matter propulsion pearl, it's really clean, really angular. So, a few shots getting warmed up and getting lined up. Again, we're bowling on a fresh house shot here. We're at Rockford Lanes. Really appreciate those guys for letting us come out here, use their house and shoot these reviews. It's definitely a high scoring house, and I look forward to showing high scores with this ball. Hopefully throwing as many strikes in the video is what we're looking forward to doing in league here as well. That's crispy. So, I mean, Motiv lately, I've been with Motiv for, I don't even know. I did way too many things when I was younger, so I have pretty bad short-term memory. I've been with Motiv for a lot of years, and they've been really on a roll lately with some of these new shiny pearls. The bowling balls that we're going to feature today, the Hysteria, the Steel Forge, going back to all the Primal Rages. I've really been a fan of a lot of the Motiv shiny, symmetrical, and asymmetrical. This one so far definitely has the looks of something very different. Fits in really nice so far, I think. We'll show what it looks like compared to the other ones, but it kind of reminds me of like the angular, like Supra and the cleaner stuff, but you still see, it still picks up and still reads in the crush too. So off of the 9-pin, it was about a 2-board move left there. So even getting a little bit deeper, even on the fresher, kind of heavier, longer oil shot that they've got here. So far, it doesn't have that wiggle. Like you see a lot of that with some of the other shiny stuff. Especially if you guys know me, see a lot of my reviews. I a lot of times will take some of the pearl stuff and actually put a little bit of surface on it, just because I feel like the really shiny stuff for me, with my speed, tends to have a little bit of wiggle. But even this one out of box, I really haven't seen that yet. Now we do like to keep it really clean. Got these DH Lab chamois. Check these out, these are pretty sweet. So far, I mean, like you've seen, lots of recovery, super clean, really angular. We'll show kind of the difference in the shape of it. And, you know, a few comments people have said online, like the numbers of this one, it looks very similar to the Primal Rage Evolution. We'll show you that one in a few shots. But with this dual density core, I used a pretty strong layout on it. And it really seems that, you know, even though it's 250, 045, 5500 grit surface, but it definitely seems like that layout and that core really spiked after drilling. It just really comes off the spot, really angular, real strong. I mean, a lot of the other reviews online, I mean, this thing's a winner, so. We're just throwing it anywhere right now. So even that one, we took a few steps left off of the last couple just because we saw it coming off the dry a little bit harder. So by moving in, we just wanted to see again, how much energy can we retain? Is it bleeding anything off? Are we seeing any wiggle? And I gotta tell you, so far no. So again, that was the one with surface. Like I said earlier in the video, I also wanted to showcase this Nebula. I drilled it pretty much the same type of layout, pretty normal pin up. CG kicked out a little bit. I think the numbers are somewhere around like 45 by 5.5 by 30. But what I did with this one compared to the other one is I just hit the surface with about a 1500 grit pad, just so I could see how much I could make it hook. It kind of reacts a little bit more like a hybrid, I think. I did that with a steel forge, so let's show the difference here. So I lined up that one the same that I did with the shiny one, just to kind of show you the difference. Again, I didn't really hit the surface super hard. I kind of just scuffed it really lightly with a 1500 grit. But at least what I see out of that one right there, obviously it still strikes, still gets to kind of the same spot down lane, but definitely notice that one pick up a little bit earlier, bled off a little bit more energy, it got a little bit more forward. So let's just kind of play around with this one a little bit. So the shape of that one with a little bit of surface on it, I think what it's going to allow bowlers that are maybe a little bit more speed dominant or maybe just have a little bit of a higher tilt that maybe spin it a little bit more, what it's going to allow you to do is take that pearlized cover, take out some of the wiggle, and definitely spike the hook potential. I've done that with quite a few of the other Motiv pearls. I really like my steel forge that I have with that same like light 1500 grit scuff. It just turns into a great overall ball that I can use on anything. So now going back to the shiny one, we'll throw one more and get lined up with this, and then what we'll do, we'll compare it to some of the other shiny pearls that we got in the line and show you the difference. Ooh. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 5. That's half. So let's maybe try to throw it a little bit better. I gotta admit, I just got back from vacation. I've been in Florida for a week. So my game right now is about as rusty as the car that I drove through most of high school. So pretend like you never saw that last shot again. I tried. At least I remembered fingers in now. So we got lined back up with the shiny one. Now what I want to do, we've shown you that reaction. Let's work through some of the other shiny pearls that we've got in the lineup. What I'm going to start with is the Evoke Hysteria. I mean, this ball generated a tremendous amount of buzz since the release. I mean, just absolutely ran over PBA Tour at the World Series and a bunch of other majors. I've had a lot of success, couple 300s with this one as well. Let's show you what this one does. Similar layout, asymmetrical core, similar surface, but let's just see what the difference is. So I tried to throw that on a similar type of line as what we just did with the Nebula. And at least on that shot initially, to my eyes, you guys can roll back the tape. I'm sure you'll leave me some comments and let me know how accurate I am. At least to my eyes there, I see the Hysteria does pick up and want to roll a little bit earlier, which I think is pretty typical, that asymmetrical core that's in the Hysteria versus what's in the Nebula and some of the other ones. So that kind of helped us out on that shot because it definitely picked up in the oil. That forward roll kind of helped blend it out a little bit. Not quite the same angular shape. So up next, I'm going to switch over to Steel Forge. Again, with this one, I've drilled 2 of these. This one is more similar in layout and cover to what's on the Nebula. So off of the shot with the Evoke Hysteria, we're going to switch to the Steel Forge, see what this looks like. Alright, so that was kind of surprising actually. With the Steel Forge compared to the shots with the Nebula, again, they all strike because you know what? They're all pretty good bowling balls. But seeing the difference in kind of where the cores and where the color swirls start to rev up, the shapes that they have, seems like the Steel Forge, which does have the same cover as the Evoke Hysteria, they both want to pick up in about the same spot. The difference in the cores seems like it makes that Steel Forge a little longer and similar in shape to the Nebula, just a little bit rounder. So it kind of fits in between the Nebula and the Hysteria. Then last, what we'll do is we'll switch over to the Primal Rage Evolution. Again, pretty similar pin-up type layout, just like we did on the last couple. Let's throw it on the same line. We'll see how accurate I am, and we'll see how much you guys love me in the comments for that. So, I think that right there, again, I felt like those shots were pretty similar. We haven't thrown a ton to really transition the pattern, but I felt with that Primal Rage Evolution, definitely longer. It tended to look like it just kind of got lost in the oil down lane. So if you look at the core specs, that's very similar to what is on the Nebula between those 2 bowling balls. I think that right there is just really a testament to how much stronger, how much cleaner that new dark matter propulsion pearl is, and how much stronger that dual density, that Hadron core, really makes that Nebula get up and go. So we'll go back to that shiny one off of the same spot. All right, we're getting better. I threw it out the window when I got 7 that time. So obviously you can see I'm getting better. Last time we threw it out the window, we got 5. You can just really see how super clean that ball is and just how totally angular it is. It just didn't waste any energy. It took that 3 fin straight back. You guys would love it. Again, pretend you never saw that one. Pretend that I'm actually throwing it good. All right, so that was a little better there. I remember my fingers again. So again, kind of going back through what we saw with the last couple. Nebula, compare it to the Evoke Hysteria. Seems like the Nebula, we got it cleaner, a little bit more angular and a lot faster off the spot. Comparing the Nebula to what we had with the Steel Forge. Again, Nebula a little bit cleaner, a little stronger off the spot. Steel Forge was just a little bit rounder. And then when we dropped all the way down to the Primal Rage Evolution, it was clean, definitely tumbly. Also cost us probably about 3-4 boards total hook. Instead of splitting the 8-9, we barely got back to the head pin. We 2-8-10'd almost. So. So they're making the move and actually getting it through the oil, getting it off my hand a little bit better. Even pulling it into the oil on that one, still held line. It didn't have that wiggle like we saw some of the other ones there. So again, whether you keep that ball shiny, whether you put a little bit of surface on it, depending on what your tendencies and where you bowl, I think no matter what you do, the Nebula is certainly something special from Motiv. I really look forward to throwing that. It's definitely going to have a spot in my bag, along with some of the other pearls and the solids. Another great release. Again, thank you so much to Motiv Bowling. Thanks to everybody for tuning in. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. If you're interested in the gear, check out Cool Wick for the latest jerseys. Use the code REX10 at checkout for discount. DH Labs with the chamois. And be sure to tune in. Check out more. Thank you.